हरिओम एंड जय झूलेलाल जय झूलेलाल सिंधी हेरिटेज फाउंडेशन एंड दादू जैन हांगकांग प्रेजेंटिंग संस्कार संस्कार जे आज के इस अंक में हमारा सब्जेक्ट है होम्योपैथी माइंड टेक्निक्स डायग्नोस्टिक एंड थेरेपी। होम्योपैथी आज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के आयुष मिनिस्ट्री के द्वारा एक अल्टरनेटिव मेडिसिन के रूप में प्रसिद्ध है और शुरू से लेके होम्योपैथिक को बच्चों के लिए तो बोलते हैं कि सबसे अच्छी दवाई है। उस रूप से बच्चों को क्योंकि मीठी दवाई मिलती है तो बच्चों को बहुत अच्छी लगती है। तो आज उसके बारे में हम जानकारी लेंगे। आज हमारे बीच में जो गेस्ट हैं मैं उनको इनविटेशन दूंगा। उससे पहले मैं दादा श्री दयाल एन हरजानी साहब को इनवाइट करूंगा कि वे आए और आके आज के गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर का इंट्रोडक्शन दे। दादा दयाल एन हरजानी।
Jai Jhulelal, Hari Om to everyone, especially to all the viewers. I am very happy to inform you all that we have finally reached a viewership of 19,000 people, which is itself a credible figure. And this gives us a feeling of encouragement to continue further, because as we all get into our negative mode, we think it's so cumbersome to look for guest of honor speakers and talk to the panel speakers. A lot of time consuming work goes into it, and sometimes it gets us quite tired. But seeing the love and the attention and the recognition, we are here to go ahead with this. And the other good news is that we have outlined 4 other doctors later on for the month of June and July, because now people are recognizing us as a program that talks about principle and health and happiness. So all our programs are geared for you to remain a healthy and happy life. So I'm bringing in all kind of doctors who will enhance this aspect of our lives. So now we have some doctor on neurological disorders like Alzheimer's and few other Parkinson's. Then we have doctor for pulmonary and respiratory disorders to cure by only breathing simple exercises. Then we have a yoga master from Beijing who has got over 30,000 students, Chinese students in China. And then we have a great doctor talking on prenatal education, that is Garbh Samskar. That is how to invite noble souls, genius souls into your womb. And then have a eugenics of a proper population in India or wherever that we desire to. So we have to give birth to all champions on earth to take our earth forward. So now, with this 2 good news, I would like to introduce our guest speaker today is Dr. Manisha Lakhekar. She's a practicing homeopath in a leading holistic way in Hong Kong. She is a prominent advocate of holistic evidence-based medicine and has pioneered new ways to revolutionize natural, non-invasive process to help the patient from simple to complex chronic diseases, ailments, and conditions from a pathological, mental, and overall well-being. She has presented numerous talks on general wellness and also has been a phenomenal speaker on TEDx. She is an international homeopath medical society, Liga Medicorum, and we are very proud to have her with us today. And because she's given a unique mix of traditional and modern practices in homeopathy. And with her profound wisdom on human anatomy and various diseases, uh, you will be able to gain a lot of knowledge. And as we have the Q&A session, you'll come to know why she's such a phenomenal character. Can I invite her on the screen, please?
Hari Om.
Hey,
Hello,
Hari,
everyone.
it is our tradition to welcome every guest of honor with a Kabir Doha from the book Kabir Speaks. So when I open the book, I have a habit of opening the book, and whatever page comes, I just make a note of it. So today it has come on Guru. So it says, Guru bin gyan na apaje, Guru bin mile na moksh, Guru bin lakhe na satya ko, Guru bin mile na dosh. That means without Guru, knowledge unable to obtain. This is my poem in English, which I translated. Without Guru, knowledge unable to obtain, nor salvation ever attain. Without Guru, none realize the truth or removes one's doubt and stain. So
Very nice. Very nice.
this is the translation of Dadu. And one more is Dadu's Doha, which I've written in a book, which will come out later on maybe. And it's a prayerful Doha just for you and for the viewers all over the world. It says, मैं हूँ तेरा, तू है मेरा, जग में क्या लेना देना, जिस हाल में तू रखे मुझे खुशी से जीना.
Wow.
This is my welcome offering to you. Now I
Thank
would like to, would you like to play your PPT first, or
uh,
should we go for straight for the panel speaker?
you can go for the panel speaker. Is okay.
Okay, our panel speakers, we have two lovely, beautiful ladies. One is Kiran Sukhani. She's a nutritionist and an entrepreneur and holds a bachelor's degree in chemistry. I didn't realize that because she's in the fashion industry as well as she's a chemical, chemistry degree holder. It's a rare combination. Thank you, Kiran. Her experience for a
Thank
deep
you.
love for her ramp. She has become a model and Indian designer, and she has what her race to Mrs. Universe 2018. She secured a position of top 10. So that is congratulations, Kiran. And she's got a passion for health
Thank you.
and knowledge and benefits, and she is also a freak, not a freak, rather a interested party of food and nutrition.
Yes.
And she has several nutrition prestigious certificates for that. And now she has opened a restaurant called Calfit and Tagline. I just had dinner the other day, and I would recommend all to go there. It's really
Thank you. Thank you,
thank you.
Uncle.
And then we have Rishika Asumal. She's a lovely girl from Indonesia. She studied art and history and business at Brandeis University at Waltham. MA. What does MA stand for? Massachusetts? Yeah, I can't hear you. Put on your mute. You've gone on mute.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Rishika is now working at Sotheby's in Hong Kong, and which is a part of the Sotheby's New York. And she has come from Singapore and Indonesia, and she's an contemporary art expert. And since she moved to Hong Kong 3 years ago, she's now a deputy director at Sotheby's Asia. This is a very hard, difficult title to obtain, and a lot of work has gone into her responsibilities. And Rishika spends her spare time working on a project, and that's where I met her. Her project is called I Have Sinned, which I'm still trying to figure out what it means, which is dedicated to the research and preservation of the culture and history of Sindhi Hindu diaspora. Okay, now with this introduction, I will request Rishika to uh, start the ball rolling with her first barrage of 4 questions, while we all will take a little rest. Rishika, go ahead, please.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. The first question is, what is homeopathy?
Okay. Hello, first of all, Rishika. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha. You're looking beautiful as well. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So, homeopathy basically is the form of complementary medicine or alternative medicine in which you give highly diluted substance called as remedies prepared from various sources to basically stimulate your own healing energies. And then it will help you to treat or cure that disease. So, that is what homeopathy is.
Okay. May I ask the next question now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How is it different from allopathy?
Yeah, Rishika.
Okay, it's not similar, no similarities at all, basically. So, homeopathy is very ancient medicine, and allopathy is called as Western medicine or modern medicine. So, allo is different, okay, and pathos means suffering. So, in allopathy, they use different kind of substances to treat the disease. And homeopathy means homeo means similar, pathos means suffering. So we are using basically the similar kind of substance to treat the illness. So in Western medicine or modern medicine, which we also call as allopathy, so they will focus more on the infection or particular part of the body which is affected. Say for example, if it is eczema, so they will direct the treatment on the skin. If it is like certain kind of infection, then they will direct the treatment on that particular part. So mostly it is on the local part or the disease or the infection. But in homeopathy, we will consider person as a whole. So we will not only take into consideration that particular part, but we will also see what is the physical generals of that patient and what are the physical particulars of that patient and what is the mind of that particular patient. So, according to the definition of health, according to WHO, they say that health is the complete physical, mental, and social well-being of a person, right? And not merely the absence of symptom or infirmity. So that means you need to be fit physically also, mentally also, and socially also. But I would also like to add two more things. You should also be very fit emotionally and spiritually. So then I will consider you as a healthy human being. So homeopathy basically says that you should be healthy like through and through, on physical plane, on mental plane, on emotional plane, on social plane, and I would say spiritual also. This is my addition, I think. Then
Yeah.
yeah, so homeopathy focuses on treating man in disease and not disease in man. Okay, so that is different than allopathy. So we consider human being as a whole, right? So that is again a difference. Then in allopathy, they can use some invasive kind of treatments, or they use injections, or they use surgeries. So it's not that homeopathy doesn't support surgery, but we cannot do surgery as a homeopath. So we cannot use injections as a homeopath. We cannot do surgeries as a homeopath. So that is a difference. Like invasive, it is allopathy, and homeopathy is non-invasive. It is whole and soul administration of the remedies. That is the very big difference. Then they say that allopathy can heal very fast, okay, and homeopathy takes little bit time comparatively, because you are basically taking help of your own healing energies, right? So it will take some time, and in Western medicine immediately you will see the effect. But I will explain that further also. But in homeopathy you can treat the disease from roots. So that is again a one very big difference, I would say.
I'll interrupt here. So
Yeah.
that means homeopathy is a boon for children. Children will love you. Well, no injection, fear, right?
Children,
So Darega,
children, children already love me very much.
exactly,
I'm their favorite.
because it's a non-invasive.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
your homeopathy, there are no injections, no cut and sew, no surgery, no
No,
invasion,
no,
just
no injection means
application
what?
of oral medication.
My son used to go to Dr. Manisha for
Yeah.
his
You
homeopathic
know,
medicine, and he used to
like
love it.
So
sometimes
children
it
love
will
it.
be very,
So I want to re-emphasize to everyone that homeopathy means you can go and relax and without any fears of being injected or inoculated or anything of that sort. So good.
selling point for kids.
Very point.
Sometimes it will be so embarrassing for parents because the other day one of my patient was sharing with me that
Yeah.
this son of mine went to the western doctor and they say in front of the doctor only say, oh, how come we have come here? I don't want to take any treatment from, I want to go to that sweet pill doctor. And that was like,
Very good.
I used to bribe my son the same way. You
Fantastic.
want sweet pills or
Very
yes.
you want the strong medicine? And I used to
good.
bring him to
Ishika,
you.
go ahead, please. Your
Actually,
third.
I recently went to Dr. Manisha as well, and I look forward to those sweet pills after my meals. They're so delicious. Um, okay, so I'll move on to my next question. That was really clear, by the way. Thank you for explaining. Is homeopathy the same as Ayurveda?
No. Homeopathy and Ayurveda are different. Ayurveda was originated in India 3500 years back. Ayur means life, Vedas is knowledge. So, Ayurveda means knowledge of life. Okay. So, in Ayurveda, they will use medicines like kadha and all, mostly prepared from plant kingdom, mostly from plant, and then they give medicine. But along with medication, in Ayurveda, they also do other kind of treatments. Like in Ayurveda, they will give enema. Then they have medicinal oils for massages in Ayurveda. Uh, then they have some kind of baths and all in Ayurveda. Some surgeries are also allowed in Ayurveda. So all those things are there in Ayurveda. Plus Ayurveda, they will treat you according to three dosha. So three doshas. So that is vat, pitta and kapha. So vat is wind, pitta is bile, and kapha is flame. So they say that every person have three doshas in them, but some of them will be like predominant. So they will either be having one, two together, three, all three together, one predominant, something like that. They also check your nadi, like nadi dosha and all. So that is also a diagnostic methodology in Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is totally different than homeopathy. So they says that homeopathy is herbal, but it is not. It is not herbal medicine completely. That also I will explain. So that is a difference, basic difference. And in Ayurveda, they use mostly crude form of substance. So in our Indian cooking also, so many things which are actually medicinal, we use it and in cooking. So many our masala spices are like actually medicines in Ayurveda. So they use crude form of medication, and homeopathy use a dynamic form of medicine. So that is ultra diluted substances which are potentized. So that is the biggest difference between Ayurveda and homeopathy.
Fantastic.
I see.
Very good.
Thank you so much. And the last question I'm going to ask is, what are the sources of medicine in homeopathy?
Very good question. So in homeopathy, medicines are prepared from, most of them are prepared from plant kingdom. Then is mineral kingdom. So plant kingdom means medicines are prepared from all the parts of the plant, like root, stem, stalks, flowers, pollens, all like parts of plants. Then medicines are prepared from mineral kingdom, something like sulfur, arsenic, sodium, chlorine, bromine, iodine. these kind of minerals, calcium. So then they are also prepared from animal kingdom. Okay. Then they are prepared from nosode, sarcode, and imponderabilia. So nosode is actually the deceased product. Sarcode is actually the organ substance, something like that. And then imponderabilia means medicines are prepared from some rays like moon rays, X-rays. X-ray is a remedy in homeopathy. So these are all the sources of medicine in homeopathy. So many people now who are vegetarian or vegan, they will ask me this question, doctor, medicines are prepared from animal kingdom. So whether it is okay or safe for us to take or no homeopathic remedy. But the good news is remedies are so diluted that the actual substance is not present in the medicine. So actually you are not eating or drinking any kind of animal material in your system. So it is absolutely okay to take by all vegetarians and vegan people.
Very interesting, huh?
And then no killing of animal also.
So I'll talk to you about that later on. But Rishika, do you have any doubts or any questions or any lingering aspects in your understanding? Then you can ask her.
I completely understand everything, Dr. Manisha. You were very clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you
So
so much.
clever. You're a very clever girl, huh?
Rishika,
I have
you
my
asked so
doubts.
many nice
Rishika,
questions.
clever
and they were
girl,
so
yes.
Thank you, Rishika. Thank you. Now we'll get our beautiful model to come over and ask her next questions. Kiran, welcome.
Yes.
Please ask
Thank you,
your
Uncle.
questions to Dr. Manisha.
Thank you. First of you, Sindh Heritage and Dadu Jan for creating this wonderful platform where we all can invite wonderful guests like Dr. Manisha who can our doubts, who can information, and who can share a lot of live experience with us. Very, very warm welcome, Dr. Manisha, on our wonderful platform created by Uncle Dayal and Pradeep ji. So I'm glad to have you here with us, and I'm happy Rashika has questioned you quite a few questions, which gave us a lot of information. But you're a very curious person, and I think a lot of audience also are very curious to know many more things. So just going ahead a little more, since you said Ayurveda is origin, what about homeopathy? Is it originated in India? I'm a little curious now because you did not specify is it originated in India. So and it's so famous all over the world. Where is it coming from? Such a vast knowledge of medicine.
So homeopathy was not originated in India. Homeopathy basically is originated in Germany.
Okay.
In 1796 by a German physician, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who was born on 10th of April 1755 in Germany. So he was basically a medical doctor. So he was a very bright child, bright student. He was a medical doctor. So 9 years of doing practice in allopathy or Western medicine, he was not actually satisfied with the practice what he was doing at that time, because 200 years back, 200 plus year back, medicine was not like this at that time. Actually the treatment which they were using for healing people were more hazardous than the disease itself. So being a very sensitive soul, he have decided to quit the practice of medicine. But you have to earn the bread and butter. So just to earn the bread and butter, at that time he knew 14 different languages. So he started working as a translator. So he was very good in chemistry, he was very good in botany, he was a medical doctor. So he started translating different kind of medicine material. So during that translation, he came across some kind of articles, and from there was a origin of homeopathy. So I will not go into details, but then he did that translation job in 1790. And then after that he discovered about homeopathy, and then 6 years of constant studying and proving about the remedies and all, he put forward the theory of homeopathy in 1796. So homeopathy, there was one doctor, like a traveler, a French traveler. His name was Dr. John Martin Hohenberger. So he traveled to India in 1810, first time. So he was doing homeopathy in India. But in 1839, Punjab, state of Punjab. So Maharaja Ranjit Singh from Punjab, he got ill in 1839. So this Dr. John prescribed him some homeopathy remedy named Dalkya Mara for his illness. So this Maharaja was so impressed on the medication because he was not getting better with any other medicines. So then he insisted this doctor to stay there and promote homeopathy and practice homeopathy, and that's how it came in India. So now if we see, India is number one. So homeopathy is most popular in India now. Though Germany was the origin, number two is Brazil now, number three is Germany. But homeopathy is practiced in over 129 countries. And homeopathy is the world's second largest system of medicine, which has been practiced.
Very good. I'll interrupt here.
Wow. I wasn't
I'll
aware.
interrupt here. You described earlier what is allo and what is pathy. What about homeo and pathy? Well, how did the word homeopathy come by?
Homeo is similar. Pathos means suffering. Homeo is similar. Pathos means suffering. Similar.
So when you
Actually,
say similar,
basically there are four pathies: homeopathy, allopathy, antipathy, isopathy. Isopathy.
Okay.
So in antipathy, you are giving opposite substance. For example, diabetes है तो करेला का juice पी लो is antipathy. Opposite, right? Then isopathy is use same substance. If someone is having ear discharge, then they use same ear discharge for treating that ear discharge. This is isopathy, is the same substance. Then allopathy is no head and tail. So it's like you can use anything. No, really, you can use anything. That is like so. I'm not criticizing anything, but that is the meaning of those words, different substance. And then homeo is similar. So basically, if there is ear discharge, so in homeopathy, we are not using that same discharge, but we are using some substance, maybe from any kingdom, like plant kingdom, animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, which has capacity to produce that same kind of discharge, and that discharge substance also have capacity to heal it also. So that was the discovery by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, that substances which you give in larger doses that create that particular pathology, but if you use the same substance in a very teeny tiny form, very ultra diluted form, then you can use the same substance as a remedy to heal that particular thing. That is the
Very good. Kiran, go ahead with your questioning. You're on.
Yeah, Dr. Manisha, it's really nice to know that a lot of people are trying to get into the homeopathy and famous in India. I mean, despite it is not originated in India, but it's so famous in India that I literally thought it is coming from India. I want to know what made you to try homeopathy medicine. Why they want to try? Why they want to have homeopathy? What makes homeopathy medicine so special?
Yeah. So most of the times they come to homeopathy because they are not finding any solution in any other treatment. So that is really. So many times they come after trying so many different kind of things, because then they hear that, homeopathy has a permanent solution. It can treat you from the root. That is why they would love to try homeopathy. So many cases comes like that. Some of the cases they are taking like since days together, their family and their ancestor used to take homeopathy. That is why they also want to take homeopathy. But nowadays people are aware about the side effects. They are aware about the chemicals. They are aware about bad effects of all those substances, invasive procedures, surgeries and all. So people are becoming more holistic and they would like to go with more natural things, So that era of Ayurveda, that all is coming back, like how you also, Kiran, you are doing so well. You are, introducing the same thing, no? Like people are now aware that, all those things. So that fancy things, fast food and all was coming, but nowadays they want that food which their dadi nani used to, eat, right? So same way people are aware and they would not like to have any side effects, so they are searching for more and more natural and holistic kind of medicines. So that is also reason they are coming to homeopathy. Again, homeopathy is very famous for treating chronic diseases, that has got earned that
My
name, that homeopathy can really cure your disease from within. So
my next
so
question: what kind of diseases? Yeah, what kind of diseases it can cure? But before I go to my next question, I saw one viewer asking a very nice question. Her name, I mean, our one of our live session, Miss Monica, that are the homeopathic medicines? Why are homeopathic medicines or pills sweet? Is sugar added? Question, just to know that the sweetness comes from what
yeah.
to these
So
medicines?
homeopathic medicines, those globules are the actually basic medium material, and those are not medicines. Those are plain sugar pills. So that is called as placebo, sugar of milk. That is called as sugar of milk, and it was prepared before. They used to prepare it from goat milk before, right? So that is the sugar, basically sugar substance, that is a medium. So we need something to administer the remedy which has inert qualities. It should not react with the remedies and all. So that is why we use those pills. So those pills are inert. Medicine will become when you add liquid in that, so that becomes your medicine. So that base, because it is a sugar of milk, that is why it is sweet.
So it's not the normal sugar;
No.
it's the sugar
Yes, it is sugar of milk.
of the milk.
Yes.
So then, I have a
Okay.
question on that. There is nothing to do with sugar of diabetes or something like that. Nothing to do with
No,
that.
no,
It's a
no.
different kind. Then what kind? How would you explain the sugar?
No, because the pills what you are taking, first of all, you are taking in a very teeny tiny doses, like 2 pills, 3 pills, like that.
Right.
And if people are already suffering from diabetes, then we also have different forms, like we have liquid remedies, liquid medicines. So for diabetic people, we will give liquid in the form of liquid. The medicines we will give in the form of liquid. And even if for diabetic also, if you give very teeny tiny 2 pills, I don't think that is going to cause much harm to them, for sure.
Okay, I think everybody should know about it, because since you
I think it's
mentioned
so clear.
of sugar, so the next second question comes: diabetes. How does it link with it, and how dangerous it is, or how adaptable it is? So people should know about this. So that's why I asked you this question. Kiran, you're on. Go ahead for your question.
So considering the diabetes and many more other diseases, what kind of we treat? Like just name few of them to make it clear for our viewers, for us to understand what kind of diseases can be easily cured by homeopathy.
Yeah. So as we all know, every medicine will have some scope and some limitations. But I am very glad to say that many diseases can be treated beautifully with homeopathy, right from the coryza to cancer. We can treat them very well. So the name of the disease doesn't really matter much. We have to understand for this question, like what kind of illnesses we are facing nowadays. So some of them are indisposition. So what is indisposition? Say for example, if we do night watching, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days consecutively we are night watching, then next day is headache. What is the remedy for that? You take proper sleep, right? That is a remedy for that. That is predisposition. Sometimes, like I have one patient and whose weight is 110 kilos, and he will be like, okay doctor, give me something for weight loss. Doctor, I said, okay, so doctor, रात को तो 4 पैक पी के चिकन विकन खा के फिर वो करना है, एंड देन यू गिव मी होम्योपैथी, एंड आई एम लाइक, भाई माफ करो मुझे तुम, You see, they don't want to change their lifestyle, they don't want to make any dietary changes, they don't want to exercise, but then they expect that you heal them with homeopathy. That is not possible, right? So there are some diseases where you need to change your diet, you need to change your lifestyle, you need to exercise properly. So this comes under indispositions, where you actually don't need any medicine. If you do all these things, you will really get better, and that is the solution. You should, though I'm a doctor, I'm telling you, please don't seek pill for every ill, please, because that is wrong. Because even I won't do that. So many times, I am sitting in the medicine, right, but I will not pop pill all the time. I will see what are the other solution also, right? So you have to be a little bit wise, right? Then there are some acute illnesses. So acute illnesses are illnesses where there is sudden onset, rapid pregnancy, rapid progress, and sudden decline. Something like chickenpox, measles, mumps, and all. So in all these diseases, homeopathy can heal. Then there are some chronic diseases. So in chronic diseases like diabetes, like arthritis, like hypothyroidism, like migraine, like asthma, rhinitis, allergic rhinitis, all these things, homeopathy have very nice medicines for all those things. And then there are some surgical illnesses where
That's
homeopathy
so nice and cure so many different diseases.
Some surgical diseases. Say, for example, I have one lady who is having 25 centimeters. So you can imagine 25 centimeters, very big, like this much tumor in her ovary. And then government hospital has given her appointment for surgery after 8 months. But because that tumor is so big, she is not able to walk without pain. So she came to me that, doctor, I cannot even bend, I cannot sit, and it is so miserable, I cannot sleep properly, it is so painful. So now we need to understand that this is not the disease which can be treated with homeopathy, because this woman needs surgery, and that is for sure. But with my medicine, she is having no pain, absolutely no pain. Since last 3-4 months, she is having no pain. So this is called as palliative treatment, where you cannot treat that disease homeopathically, but you can help in that disease, right? So those are called as surgical illnesses, where homeopathy cannot cure them. For sure, you need surgery in those areas, but homeopathy can help you to fight or to heal faster. There are surgical diseases where after surgery, you can give very beautiful remedies which will heal the wounds faster. Say, for example, if you have some splinter in the eye, you will not take medicine for that. You need to take it out. Or if there is some thorn in the sole of the foot, you will not take medicine for that. You need to take it out, right? So there are some diseases where you need procedure. So that is those kind of illnesses. And then there is one disease which is called as complex disease, which is called as artificial chronic disease. So chronic diseases are those where our vital force have got affected so badly that now our body is not able to heal itself. So our body is the best doctor. Our body has capacity to heal almost everything. But when it is not able to heal, then we call it as a chronic disease. And those are the illnesses where homeopathy works the best. Then what is artificial chronic disease? Since childhood, whenever you have certain kind of illness, you take some kind of Western medicine, then you basically suppress it. Then for diabetes, you are taking this. Then for your eye, you have eye problem, you take this. You have heart problem, you take this. You have kidney problem, you go to kidney specialist. Then so many allopathic medicines you are taking, so many complex chemicals you are taking, and then you are actually making a complex disease, which is the most difficult disease to treat. So people who are doing like that since many days, and when they come to homeopathy treatment, then it is very difficult even for us to heal them. And unfortunately, most of the patients nowadays are like that. So they will, very few like clean and natural bodies you will get. Most of them are suffering with this kind of artificial chronic disease, and that is really difficult to treat. So this is the scope and limitation. So if you ask me name of the disease, you name them, we have treatment, but there is certain limitation which I have already told. Say, for example, in cases of poisoning, snake bites, sudden accidents, sprains, accidents are there. So in that, when there is a sudden check of your vital force, you need to go to the Western doctor. So there, homeopathy is of little help.
Fantastic.
Understand. One of the diseases just coming right in my mind, and those who suffer with a lot of skin problems, does homeopathy help in treating eczema, the skin problems and all?
100%. I think in Hong Kong, I have most of the cases what I'm facing nowadays is of eczema. So in Hong Kong, the common illnesses are eczema, respiratory complaints, and depression, anxiety. So these
Yeah, Hong
three
Kong, because of humidity, this is a very common
very
problem.
common, very common. In children, you will see cough, cold, coryza most of the time, eczema, and then anxiety and depression. These are very common nowadays. So in if you say eczema, yes, we can treat eczema very well.
That's really nice to hear. I will definitely recommend a lot of this kind of medicine, and they will definitely be coming to you for lots and lots of remedies. I pass you to Uncle Dayal for the rest of the questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Kiran.
So
Both of
please
you
go
were
ahead with him.
lovely,
And
lovely
I'm also
panel
here to.
speakers. Thank you so much for coming. But be on the screen. I'm going to ask Doctor a few questions.
Sure.
You mentioned earlier that there were some surgical what you call cases, diseases. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? You just gave 2 examples. What other category does this surgical cases come under?
There are many diseases, no? For example, if there is intussusception in intestine, so intestine will become like lock like this. You need surgery in that. If there is bolus of worm, very big bolus of worm into your intestine, you need surgery for that. If there are certain tumors in the brain which are situated in very delicate areas of your brain, you need surgery for that. If there is like blockages in the heart arteries, and if those are like major blockages and that is like hazardous for you at that particular time, you need surgery over there. Yeah, that you need to put stent over there. For example, if someone is having hernia, so in that case, if the hernia is too big and it has come out, then you cannot expect that with homeopathy. You need to push the organ back and you need to put a mesh over there, and then you can give some medicines for like homeopathic medicines after that. So, but you that also depend on case to case. Say for example, I had one patient who was suffering from infertility, so she was not able to conceive. So the problem what doctor said was that her fallopian tube is blocked. So they said, because your tube is blocked, you are not, it's very difficult for you to conceive, right? So she was told to get some procedure done for that. So with my medicine, that tube got opened, and she didn't need the surgery afterwards. I had one patient when I was in Hung Ham clinic. She was having cysts in the kidneys. And because that it is difficult to get surgery appointment in government hospitals, so she was given appointment after 8 months, 10 months like that. So because she was having lot of pain in kidneys, so I started medicine for cysts in the kidney. So when she was about to go for the surgery, and when they did the x-ray again, they said there is no cyst in the kidney.
Oh,
that was a surgical case, right? But that was a surgical case, but it got better with the homeopathy. See, what is natural, we need to understand. Say for example, if there are stones in the kidney, then people will say whether this is a surgical disease or whether this is not a surgical disease. So if there are stones in the kidney, the ureter, the size of the ureter is, the diameter is 8 millimeter. Okay. So, and because it has the elasticity of the ureter, so actually 9 to 10 millimeter of stone can easily come out if your homeopathic remedy is correct. So if there are, and so many patients I can show you, when after giving my medicine, the stones coming out where the surgery was advised before. So many surgical cases also you can avoid with homeopathy. And there are certain illnesses where if you don't do surgery, that can be life threatening, so you just opt for the surgery. So we need to understand what works best for you at that particular time.
So that means if somebody comes with a surgical case, you will try to give them some medication
Say for
before they go
example,
for surgery. You will not recommend surgery right away. You'll give them a shot on your
so that
medication,
is that
or
is
you'll
that
take
is
a case-to-case basis.
that is the judgment, and our experience, right? So
Okay.
though we are homeopaths, we have studied all the subject what a medical doctor should study. So we have studied anatomy, physiology in our first year, pathology in our second year, so we have studied surgery also in our third year, right? So we know what are the surgical diseases, we know what is the scope of homeopathy in there, we know what is the limitation, we know what is the emergency case. So we need to understand the medicine as well. So we need to study medicine also in final year, PSM also in final year. So so that is the beauty of becoming a doctor, because you know what is your scope, what is your field, what is your area, and what is your limitation. I think each and every doctor should know what they can do, but they should know it very well that what they cannot do, because you are dealing with the patients, right? So you have to give good and perfect advices to your patients.
Fantastic. Very good answer.
Thank
So
you.
then the question comes, what about cases like diabetes and cancer? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so many cases nowadays are coming for diabetes. Diabetes so very common. It's very uncommon if someone is not having diabetes nowadays. It is like that, because so diabetes, okay, all these things, medicine and all, we understand. What is diabetes? So psychodynamically, there is very beautiful book by Louise Hay. So she has explained very nice reasons for the diseases or on the psychodynamic level. So what is diabetes? Diabetes is not non-production insulin. Insulin is not secreting, or body is basically, insulin is there but body is not using it. So there is a lock, right? So whenever there is lack of sweetness in your life, diabetes
Lack,
comes.
lack of sweetness.
स्वीटनेस. सो जिंदगी की मिठास जब भी खत्म हो जाएगी ना,
हाँ
तो
हाँ।
डायबिटीज आ जाएगा.
तो कौन सी
So,
मिठास की बात करती है,
yes.
शुगर की या दूसरे की?
see this is what I'm trying to say, कि मेडिकल में जाएंगे अगर हम, तो मेडिकल टर्मिनोलॉजीज में बहुत कुछ है जो हम साइंटिफिकली उसको और बता सकते, लेकिन अगर साइकोडायनेमिकली हम लोग देखें ना, if you are really very happy and healthy from within, people will ask me, कितने यंग लोग होते हैं जो बहुत अच्छे से डाइट फॉलो करते हैं, they will go to gym, they will do exercise, they are very careful, they are very cautious, they are very good in sanitizing and all, but still they have various kind of illnesses because lot of anxiety. So you should be a free spirit. ये जो सारी चीजें है ना, डर, फियर, टेंशन, वरी, चिंता, ग्रीफ, डिसअपॉइंटमेंट, ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. देर आर सर्टन थिंग्स विच derange your health, and there are certain things which cause disease. So what are the things which will derange our health? So for example, extremes of heat, extremes of cold, sunlight है, ठंडी लग गया, ये सब कुछ चीजें है ना जो आपका हेल्थ को डिरेंज करता है. So what are the things which cause diseases? तो हम लोगों ने उसका जो लेबल है, ठप्पा है, वो हमने लगा दिया कि बैक्टीरियाज है, वायरसेस है, प्रोटोजुआज है, फंगस है, ये है, वो है, ये सब लोग डिसीज कॉज करते हैं भाई. अच्छा, तो तुम क्या करते हो फिर? तो बेसिकली जब तक हम अलाउ नहीं करते हैं ना, तब तक हमें डिसीज आ नहीं सकते हैं. सो बेसिकली अंटिल एंड अनलेस यू डोंट अलाउ, डिसीज कैनॉट कम. तो लोग बोलेंगे ऐसे थोड़ी होता है, हम थोड़ी अलाउ करते हैं. तो ऐसा नहीं है. इट इज ऑल अबाउट बीइंग हैप्पी फ्रॉम विद इन. तो जब भी कोई भी केस आता है, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई केस आएगा, तो लोग कैसे बताते हैं कि डॉक्टर मुझे हेडेक हो गया, डॉक्टर आई एम हैविंग माइग्रेन. चलो एक एग्जाम्पल लेते, माइग्रेन है, तो दिस इज नेम ऑफ द डिसीज, माइग्रेन. सो इफ यू सी होम्योपैथी, अच्छा माइग्रेन है या पेन है तुमको सर में, तो ये देखेंगे वेस्टर्न मेडिसिन में अप्रोच ये होगा कि क्यों है सर में दर्द, क्या इन्वेस्टिगेशन करना चाहिए, क्या ओरिजिन इसका हो सकता है, इसके लिए हम कौन कौन सी टेस्ट लिख के देंगे, फिर दे विल ट्राई टू डायग्नोज कि भाई माइग्रेन क्यों है, सर में दर्द क्यों है। तो फिजिकल लेवल पे ये डायग्नोसिस किया जाता है। तो होम्योपैथी में थोड़ा सा आगे चलते, माइग्रेन के लिए वी हैव मोर देन 500 मेडिसिन। सर दर्द, more than that we have. So what is the next when patient comes to you? So they will tell you facts about that disease, like name of the disease is migraine, लेकिन fact of the disease क्या है? अच्छा डॉक्टर, मुझे सिर्फ I will only have headache on my right side, my headache is only on my vertex region, headache is like lot of hammer hitting on my head, something like that kind of headache I'm having. So this is specific information about that particular disease. So you are getting, so then from 400, 500, you come down to 300 remedies, because most, some of them will be left-sided headache, some of them will be right-sided headache, right? So when the person will start giving the history, first they speak on name, then they speak on fact level, that is whether the headache is right side or left side, whether it is aggravated after sunlight or better after rest or better after lying down. This is called as modalities. Then they will tell you about emotion. You know, doctor, whenever I get headache, I get so angry, so angry. I don't want anyone to come and speak with me. Angry when obliged to answer. When they are asking me any question, I don't want to answer them. So this is more specific because they are talking about their emotions now. So this is little bit deeper. Then, you know, doctor, whenever this headache is there, I really feel like hitting someone. Whenever this kind of thing will come, I really get frustrated. So you see, now from my head, right, my migraine, my head to your case has gone to I am frustrated. So always I is more important than my headache, my eyes, my heart, my skin. I am frustrated, I am angry, I have grief, doctor, I am disappointed. So this, you see, when he start going, so you just have to listen. That patient will shift from my to I, and I is more important. That is what in the beginning only I told you the difference between allopathy and homeopathy. So homeopathy is all about holistic. So it is about I. It is not about disease in man, but it is about man in disease. Who is that person who is falling sick? So that is very characteristic. Then patient talk on the energy level, on sensation level, different kind of illusions are there, different kind of delusions are there. So you have to consider all those things, and then you have to understand during that whole case taking that out of those 400, 500 remedies for migraine, which remedy will suit this patient the best. That is called as homeopathy. So we are trying to match the symptoms of that particular remedy with the symptoms of that particular patient. So these symptoms should be a matching on 3 levels. So first one is called as physical, particular. Physical means physic, body, and particular means part of the body. So my medicine should be a perfect match for that migraine. Then physical general. Physical general is appetite, thirst, bowel, sleep, dream, desire, aversion, all these things. So what our dadi, nani used to say, right? They will say that, you know, if a person is able to eat properly, that means if their appetite is good, if that person is able to sleep properly, agar घोड़े बेच के सो जाता है, and if that person is able to pass the bowel, urine, potty properly, that means that person is healthy, right? Correct. Or not, right? So you need to understand that all these functions also should be matching with your remedy of that particular patient. So appetite, thirst, bowel, sleep, dream, desire, aversion, these are all physical general. So we will not say that my stomach is hungry. We will say I am hungry, right? So that is more important than my headache. So you see, you have to categorize, right? Hierarchy you have to maintain. And then the third one is mental generals of that person. So medicines in homeopathy, medicines are proved on healthy human beings. So they are not proved on lower animals. They are not proved on rabbit and guinea pigs and all. So they were proved on healthy human beings. So that means medicine which we are giving to you, before giving to you, it was tried and tested on another healthy human being. So when we are giving medicine to a human being, he will not only tell you about the aches and pains, but he will also tell you about the emotions, right? During the proving, all these physical particulars were all noted, physical generals also were all noted, and then mind, which is most important, also was noted. And that is how our materia medica was built. So when now this patient comes to us, if once we understand that patient and that particular remedy, then we can tell you the whole horoscope of that patient, because we are reading that remedy and you are matching that. That is homeopathy, right? So we are basically matching the patient with the remedy on all the three levels. So it is much more deeper than just treating the cold and cough and aches and pains.
So basically, you're trying to say that most of the conditions are egocentric. They fall in diseases because they are too concerned about themselves. It's always a I factor. I'm fearing, and relating to a particular emotion that creates all this problem.
I'm not claiming that it is always like that, because then we will forget
Yeah.
about all those illnesses which are accidental. Say for example,
No.
accident, then where the mind come there, right? If you
Correct.
fall down, right, that is a that is like accident. Or if there is
Yeah.
a poisoning case, then you cannot say all the time, but most of the illnesses, yes. So एक वो बोला गया है, किसमें, महाभारत में था क्या वो, युद्ध रणभूमि में आरंभ होने से पहले वो मन भूमि में खेला जाता है
Exactly.
है ना? तो जो युद्ध है वो तो रणभूमि में बाद में आएगा. तुम ना मन में पूरा डिसाइड कर लिया, ऐसा खेलूंगी, वैसा मारूंगी, ऐसा करूंगी, वैसा करूंगी. तो वैसे ही डिसीजेस बिफोर कमिंग टू योर बॉडी, हमारा माइंड कहीं ना कहीं डिस्टर्ब होता है, और ये मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में हमें मिलता है, बट पीपल विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दैट, तो मैं उनको ब्लेम नहीं कर रही हूँ, बट ये फैक्ट है. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक बच्चा आया था मेरे पास, सो ही वॉज सफरिंग फ्रॉम माइग्रेन, एंड देन माइग्रेन मीन्स हेडेक. सो मदर एंड फादर वॉज टेलिंग मी, दिस डॉक्टर, ही इसको ये एग्जाम का फियर है, एग्जाम में फेल्यूर का डर लगता है बच्चे को, तो इसलिए वो टेंशन लेता है, ये है वो है. सो आई वॉज फोकसिंग ओनली ऑन एक्सर्शन होता है बच्चे को, टू मच स्ट्रेस है तो वो सब भूल जाता है, एग्जाम के टाइम सब कुछ भूल जाता है. सो 2 times ही केम फॉर फॉलो, बट देर वॉज नो रिलीफ एट ऑल. 1 month of medication, no relief at all. 3rd time when he came, then mother told me that, doctor, last year what happened, we went to India and during lockdown we were there, and he was with his nani and nana there like for good 4 months, and after that when he came back he started this headache. So he was missing his nana nani so much, because this boy is quite reserved boy. So he really got very good bonding with his nani especially, and then he was sharing everything with her and all. So all that environment and he became sad when he came here. He was all alone, like nuclear families in Hong Kong, right? So what we were focusing, migraine headache. What was his pain? Separation.
Correct.
Or not able to express himself. So patients will not understand that there is a link, but you need to understand what is the link.
We should go for
many such cases. Many such cases I can tell. I tell you one case. There was one boy, young boy, suffering from eczema, and he came with his friend around 22, 23, both of them. So this boy came to me, and then I was like, okay, since how long you are having this eczema? Since 1 year. So I asked him what happened before 1 year. So he was like, nothing. I do this food panda, doctor. So I go out, and most of the time, it's very hot in Hong Kong. It's so humid and so much I perspire. And because of that only I started. And doctor, I have used that another kind of soap. And after that only I have started this eczema. So I was not convinced, because I know that cannot be the reason for eczema. There must be something which was little bit more serious than changing your soap. So his friend was laughing, kind of teasing him. So I said, what happened? So bolte, breakup ho gaya tha iska. So I said, what? Bolte, हाँ, breakup ho gaya tha iska. So he was like, no, but I was the one who did the breakup. I was really suffocated in that relationship. I was not happy with that girl. I was the one who did that breakup, and I'm very happy after that. I said, okay, how many days after that you found the first patch of eczema? 5 days after that. Okay. How many days you took to forget that girl? He says like 3 days. I said, okay, very good. I took the rubric elements from disappointment in love. Doesn't matter you did the breakup or that girl did the breakup. What was the problem? When you fall in love, you have so many expectations from that relationship. You know, and when that is not fulfilled, you will get disappointed, right?
Correct.
Doesn't matter whether you have done the breakup or no. So I took that rubric, that case. I, if possible, will share you the pictures also from the hands and all. Beautifully improved or completely gone in 4 months.
Very good.
That case.
Fantastic.
So from where you are seeing, you are just focusing on the eczema and itching and this and that. That is not going to go, because trauma is from within, and that is much more deeper than what you are thinking. So they will not think that this is the stress. If you ask, no, what is the stress? The common answer is, doctor, who doesn't have stress? Everybody have stress in life.
Yeah, true.
हाँ, लेकिन वो स्ट्रेस की वजह से वो बीमार नहीं है ना. आप मेरे पास आए हो तो बीमार हो इसलिए आए हो, तो आपका स्ट्रेस जानना मेरे लिए जरूरी है. दुनिया का मुझे लेना देना नहीं है.
Correct.
है ना? So you are sick, तो समथिंग तो कुछ होगा ना. तो अगर if you are really going to a homeopath and if they are asking you this kind of questions na, then without holding yourself back, just go with the flow and try to answer, because that is going to benefit like anything. You cannot even imagine what it can do. So you just if you have really opted for that, then why not go with the flow? बता के देखो ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
They get into their own egoism, that they don't want to reveal themselves. They don't want to,
ego जो है ना,
their private things. They can't figure out.
जो ईगो होता है ना, ईगो वो सबसे ज्यादा मारता है हमें. ठीक है. जैसे आपने पहले संत कबीर का दोहा बोला ना, मैं आपको एक दोहा बोलती हूँ. माटी रही कुमार से, तू क्या रौंदेगा मोहे, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा मैं रौंदूंगी तुहे.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Right?
Fantastic.
So, ये जो ईगो है, ये सबसे बड़ा रीजन है हमको फॉल इल होने के लिए. सबसे बड़ा रीजन. अरे क्या लेके आए थे तुम, क्या लेके जाने वाले हो, इतना घमंड काहे का?
वही तो प्रॉब्लम है ना.
So वही रीजन, एलिमेंट्स फ्रॉम ईगोटिज्म.
नारायण पूछना है, अभी हम लोग को टाइम है. मेरे को 2 और सवाल है इम्पोर्टेंट. डू वी हैव टाइम नारायण?
मुझे टाइम ही टाइम है, तुम लोग देखो.
मैं पूछता हूँ नारायण बबलानी से. बबलानी, डू वी हैव टाइम? आई कांट हियर यू. यू आर ऑन म्यूट.
या टाइम तो हो गया है, बट वी कैन गो अहेड. नो इशू.
You can go for 5 minutes. I want to ask 2 very important questions.
Yes.
Now, Doctor, you mentioned earlier about rubrics, right? Rubrics. So this is your entry into the person's mind, is that you're trying to diagnose and then dissect and try to figure out what really is a problem, or narrow down according to your compendium of your books, right?
Yes.
So can you explain the people your consultation type? What do you do, and how do you come to this rubric, and so that people can understand where you're coming from?
So in homeopathic case taking, as I said, that people will start from the name of the disease, then they go into details and all. So we will get all the signs and symptoms, everything we note down. So we will note down what are the mental symptoms, we will note down what are the physical symptoms, we will note down what are the physical particular symptoms, and then we make a hierarchy of it. So Dr. Samuel Hahnemann has written in his 153 aphorism of homeopathy that you need to understand what is PQRS in that particular case. So like for example, in Western medicine, when you go, if there is certain kind of lesion on the skin, they need to understand whether it is psoriasis, or whether it is eczema, or whether it is like a bacterial infection. So this when they will come to know, for example, if it is fungal infection, they need to understand whether it is fungal or it is bacterial, because if it is bacterial, then you need to give antibiotics. If it is fungal, then you need to give antifungal. If it is like psoriasis, then maybe steroid or anti-inflammatory, right? So that diagnosis is important for Western point of view. But in homeopathy, we need to understand what is PQRS. PQRS is rare cure uncommon characteristic symptom of that particular person, not particular disease, of that particular person. So for example, I had a baby who was suffering from diaper rash. When I saw that rash, I was so like scared to see it was so red and it was so inflamed, and I was like, how this baby is tolerating such a small tiny baby, 5, 5, 6 months. And then I was little bit, oh my god, and this baby is kicking and like this. So this is playful. So even with that particular illness, and even with the high grade also, that baby is very playful. So this is very characteristic because this is not expected. So when you are suffering from so much, say for example, too much of pain, and one lady came with so much pain in her back that she was not even able to stand like straight. And even with that pain, when she came, she greeted me, hello doctor, how are you, may I have a seat? So this one, during that pain also, you see what is the innate character: give respect to other person, reverence for those around him. This is a rubric, right? So when that pain is there, I am sitting in the chamber and another person is outside. So I had this case also. That boy was having tooth pain, right? So with that tooth pain, that boy came with mother in the clinic, and so snappishly he answered my question, and he was like, this is not enough for you to prescribe or what? Person is in so much of pain and you are asking me all these rubbish questions, like that he said. So this is what is this? This is sensitivity to pain, intolerance of pain, snappish in answering. This is chamomilla.
So
Right?
you got that.
What is very unique, particular, specific about that particular person in that particular disease? We need to understand that, and then we have to prepare a hierarchy, and then diagnose and give medicine.
How many such conditions you take into account? 5, 10 to make a rubric?
Very, very nice question. Very nice. I love this question. So you are so intelligent. बट अभी नैले पे दैला आएगा.
नहीं आप really are too good.
So
students.
very beautiful question, that how many such rubrics you consider while prescribing to your patient. So the answer to this is, how many leg a chair should have to sit on it. How many legs a chair should have to sit on it? How many? You tell me.
So 4, no, obviously.
Though you have not seen any stool with only 3 legs.
Yeah, but you cannot sit on it. 3 also is possible. Yeah.
You can. Okay, so you have not seen a stool with only 2.
Yeah, could be 2. So.
Right? And then if you take a very big,
could be one also.
Yes, with 1 also, right?
Yeah.
So if you get 4-5 rubrics characterizing the case, you can take 4-5 rubrics. 3 also is okay if they are strong enough. 2 also possible, and you can prescribe on a single remedy, single rubric also, if that is extremely marked in that person. So only on 1 rubric you can prescribe.
Okay.
This is
so that depends. That comes with a lot of experience, because to nail it on the head.
Yes.
Now I'm going to ask you my last question, and it'll be a quick one, just to make a jovial situation of the whole thing. In the Western world, people have so many words for psychological disorders like ADHD and depression and autism and all kinds of OCD. In Sindhi, we have only one word: charyo.
Charyo.
So now the question is, we have one charyo. Now, do you have one medicine for charyo that envelopes everything, or when you go into the rubric, you go in for dissecting which rubric comes from which mental aspect.
No. We have
have a
many.
common-
We
Do you have
have
a
many. No. We have many chadio remedies like that.
Okay. So you have to diagnose Cherio from which point of view, right?
So different point of views. No, say for example, there are some charios who are like they don't want to study, right? So they will be like always their head is spinning or tummy is spinning. Like now, with what investigation you are going to find out whether the pain is real or it is imaginary? So there is a
Correct.
rubric for that: feigning sick to be, feigning sickness, feigning sick to be. So that has got 18 remedies in that. So that means you should be so sharp to understand whether the disease is real or it is feigning,
Okay, great.
right?
Thank you so much. Really, we all have enjoyed so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Rishika. Thank you, Kiran. And, you have been profoundly phenomenal with your answers and so spontaneously that, it has caught us by surprise. Your flow is tremendous.
Thank
My
you so much. Thank
congratulations to
you.
you. And
One,
Thank
one
I'm
you.
last
sure
question.
Hong Kong will be blessed by your presence. Narayan, go ahead with your question. Then I will say one
Yeah,
prayer to end.
yeah. In the old day, there was only 32 medicines in the homeopathic, and then 32 to mix the 32, it is coming around 964. So is it true?
No, not true.
Okay.
So proving kept on happening. So even at Hahnemann's time also, there were more than 100 remedies at that time also.
Because
Now
there
if
is a
we now if we
ready-made formula is coming. Some e-shops are selling. You can buy this 32, and they are giving one paper. If you mix this one, and take this one. So that is true, or that is just like marketing gimmicks.
if that is true, I will be the happiest person on the earth. Then I will not have to read so many hours of the day. It is not true at
Exactly.
all. If you see single remedies right now, the number is 8,662. This is the current today's number where 8,662 single remedies have been proved till date. That means single remedies are this many. So these formulas, if you go into biochemic, so for example, if there are some deficiencies, so our body can have more than one deficiency. So you can mix biocombination. So there are some biocombination mix formulas. But homeopathy it's not like that. So homeopathy is based on fixed cardinal principle. 7 cardinal principle. Out of them, the first 3 are law of similia, law of minimum, and law of simplex. So law of similia means your remedy should be based on similar principle. Law of simplex means you have to give one remedy at a time. No mixing allowed. No cocktail, no mocktail. Okay. And law of minimum is give minimum possible remedy, which is enough to stimulate person's own healing energy. And you are not the best doctor. The best doctor is patient's own body. They can treat themselves.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I think you have online courses or not. I think
Right
everybody
now,
should learn from you.
yeah, you can form a batch.
Yeah, ठीक है.
Yeah,
Tell people to come on your online course and learn
sure,
from you.
sure,
अभी हम
sure.
लोग we have become has-beens. We have become too old to understand all these things. We are on our sunset age. We are on our way out. Anyway, thank you so much. It was really wonderful to have you. And
Thank
I'll
you.
end the show with a prayer, and then I will let Narayan close the show. Narayanji,
Yes.
Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavantu Bhavatu. Sarvesham Santir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Thank you once again, all panel speakers and guests of honor. And I hope we can invite you again, and we'll prepare some Q&A session, especially for you for a second time, if you're easy with it.
Sure. Would love to.
Thank you. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Narayanji. Thank you, Dadujan. Thank
Hari,
I
Thank
Jai
you,
Jai
Manisha.
Ram.
Thank you, Rishika.
Thank you so much, Kiran. Thank you, Shikha.
thank you special
Thank
thanks
you,
to
Neeraj.
Dr.
Thank you
Manisha
so much.
Lakekar and our panel speaker Rishika Asumal and Kiran Sukhani. I also thanks Dadu Jain, Dada Dayal and Harjani who bringing gems of gems from all over the world and getting this question and answer session very useful for general public. In the last, once again, with a small prayer, I end today's session. हे भगवान हम सबको सुबुद्धि दो, शक्ति दो, निरोगता दो, अपना अपना कर्तव्य पालन करें, सदा सुखी रहे। हे भगवान हम सबको सुबुद्धि दो, शक्ति दो, निरोगता दो, अपना अपना कर्तव्य पालन करें, सदा सुखी रहे। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Om Shanti. Jai Jhulelal.
जय
Jai Jhulelal.
Jai Shri.